Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Zaro Sports. Yes, this is another style of video that I'd like to do and start getting into. I'd like to start talking about health and fitness topics on a regular basis. So without further ado, cut the music and let's get right into it. That never gets old, huh? So back in the beginning of June, I left my full-time contracting job to go ahead and focus full-time on my Zaro Sports business. So in the couple of weeks leading up to me leaving, I was drinking a lot of energy drinks. So I was kicking back like 2 to 3 cans per shift of these energy drinks to try to just stay up. My shift was 12 hours and I was rotating between days and nights. What am I really putting in my body? So that kind of like got me wanting to do a video like this, and it's finally getting done now. You've probably seen these drinks. You've probably seen several people drinking these. And we're gonna just go through what the ingredients in a drink like this is, if it's really good for you, what are the health benefits of it. And now we actually have several others that are very similar to this kind. For all of you watching, I appreciate your support. Go ahead, like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. Let me know what other topics you'd like for me to talk about in these videos. So what's in your energy drink and is it good for you? All right, so let's look at the first couple of things we see in the ingredients of this can of Bang. So we have creatine, we have BCAAs, and then we have Ultra CoQ10, right? So let's start with BCAAs. What are BCAAs? BCAAs are your branched chain amino acids. So they're basically to your muscles. They're known to stimulate muscle protein synthesis. They aid in recovery and will also reduce soreness after a workout. So how much BCAA should you take in a day? Like, can I just knock back like tons and tons of this and I won't feel sore at all ever? Not quite the case. Women should take anywhere between 5 to 10 grams, men 10 to 20 grams per day. All right, moving on. So what's the next thing we see over here? Creatine. All right, so what is creatine? Creatine is something that just exists naturally in our bodies and it fuels our muscles. So that's why so many supplement companies use it and market it as a boost to performance. It's great for athletes who do like short spurts of high intensity exercise, like a 40-yard dash or a sprint or a heavy compound lift. Creatine will help you with those particular exercises. It hasn't really been shown to help athletes in endurance events. So how much creatine should you take daily? Typically you want to take about 5 grams pre and post workout. Creatine is something that will continuously absorb in your body. So it's something that you want to take every day and you can take every day. So as you can see, there's already many advantages to having an energy drink like this. But wait, so there's creatine in here, but usually you see creatine in like a powder form, right? This creatine in here is already in a liquid form. So back in 2004, there was a study done, and that study concluded that taking creatine in liquid form did in fact not increase creatine levels in the blood as opposed to the powdered version of it. All right, so lastly we have CoQ10. So what's CoQ10? CoQ10, otherwise known as coenzyme Q10, it protects cells from damage and plays a part in metabolism. Most healthy people have it occurring naturally in their bodies, just like the creatine. However, CoQ10 is marketed as like an energy source or an energy supplement. So that's why you see it labeled on here. But once again, there's nothing to conclude that it actually raises energy levels in a typical person. All right, so how much CoQ10 should you have daily? So right now, there's no established ideal on how much CoQ10 you should have, but a typical daily dose is gonna consist of 100 to 200 milligrams. So what are the actual main ingredients in a can of something like this, or a can of Reign? Reign is the brand by Monster now, which is kind of like competing and very blatantly has taken like a lot of the similar flavors that Bang offers. And then 7-Eleven also has a brand which right now they're buy one get one free. Their brand is called Quake. You get 250 milligrams of caffeine in there, 0 sugar, 0 calories. Very, very comparable to a can of Bang. So what's the main ingredient in these cans, right? So we talked about the BCAAs, we talked about the creatine, we talked about the CoQ10, but it seems like we talked about all of these supplements, but it seems like they just get diluted in their liquid form, right? So of course our main ingredient in these is just caffeine. Now these cans are filled with 300 milligrams of caffeine. That's equivalent to like 3 cups of coffee. All right, some cans are going to offer 250, as I just mentioned. The 7-Eleven brand offers 250 milligrams of caffeine. So you mix in the caffeine, you dump in some artificial sweeteners and make crazy and delicious flavors like Star Blast and cotton candy, and people start losing their minds because you slap a bunch of zeros all over these cans. 0 calories, 0 fat, 0 cholesterol, 0 sodium, 0 carbs. People are like, wow, what is this magical concoction? It's carbonated water with caffeine and artificial sweetener. Literally, that's what it is. Because as we mentioned before, what is labeled on these cans is nothing significant whatsoever. So with that said, now what's the verdict? It sounds like I'm bashing it, but I'm really not. I'm not bashing these drinks at all. I'm just letting you know that it is marketing, all right? These cans are literally just that. You're drinking seltzer water with artificial sweetener and loads of caffeine, all right? So I still personally drink these. I have nothing against them. However, with that said, I do not drink them as a pre-workout energy drink. My pre-workouts, I will leave reserved for anything in its powder form. With these, I like to drink in the morning or the mid-afternoon to get me and keep me going, just as I would with a normal cup of coffee. I mean, obviously the content in here is much more concentrated. You're getting a lot more caffeine than 1 cup of coffee. So if you're sensitive to caffeine, you probably don't want to do that and stick to your coffee. All right, guys, thanks for watching. That's going to conclude this video. Let me know once again in the comments what other topics you want to hear me talking about in these videos. All right, I'll catch you next time. Thanks.